Hey everyone, it's Gini Dietrich for the Spin Sucks Inquisition. I am really excited to introduce you to today's guest because he is somebody who I have great respect for, and we disagree on just about everything, even sometimes just to disagree. So I would like for you to tell people who you are and what you do.
Thank you very much. I'm Paul Sutton. I'm an independent social and digital media consultant in the UK. I've been independent for about just over a year now.
Yeah.
It's going very well, very busy. I live in the village where Downton Abbey was filmed, which I know interests you.
Yes, it does. I feel like I should come visit just for that reason.
It's all finished now, unfortunately, but and all my spare time's taken up with the kids. So I've got 3 young kids, which keep me tired.
And how old are they?
They are 6, 3, and 2.
Yeah, so you're not busy at all.
No. Lots of spare time sitting
Lots
around.
of spare time, yeah. To watch Downton Abbey and read books.
Yeah.
So is there anything we should disagree on today?
Probably most stuff. We'll see.
Probably, yeah. We probably should have thought about this ahead of time, but yeah.
Like you say, maybe we'll just disagree for the sake of it anyway.
So you went out on your own about a year ago, and what kinds of things are you doing now?
So I do a lot of strategy work for either for agencies or for in-house teams. It's worked out quite a lot on the agency side.
I'm sure, yeah.
He's calling on me, I think, because they can't afford to have someone senior in-house, which kind of makes sense. And I kind of knew that when I set up on my own. So yeah, I do a fair bit of that side of things. Do quite a lot of training, and again, that tends to be on the agency side. So training, and that can be varied, really varied. Sometimes it'll be more high-level strategy training. Other times it is things like how to run a Facebook page, how to post to a Facebook page, which I know seems crazy now, but I'm working with a very high-profile client at the moment, not through an agency, who needed help because they didn't have the faintest idea. So it's really varied, which I love. I love.
Would you say the majority of your work is through agencies, or is it pretty split?
Probably 60-70% through agencies.
That's true.
Yeah, and sometimes it's working with an agency on what they are doing.
Sure.
So helping them along and their strategy and how they want to take their businesses forward, which is what I'm getting more of this year, actually, in the last couple of months. Quite a few agencies coming to me asking for just my experience of having worked in an agency and what I know about digital, how they should move their businesses forward, which is interesting work, actually.
Are you doing any work in the US?
No.
Well, we should change that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done a bit. It's pretty much all UK based
at
the moment. Yeah. I've done some training out in France for a very big company that you would know of, but other than that, it's all UK based at the moment.
We'll change that.
Yeah.
I actually have been looking for things that we could do together, so we'll change that.
Yeah, I would love to.
Just so that we could go into a client and disagree would be awesome.
In front of the client.
They'd be like, what's going on? So let's get started on the Inquisition. Tell me, what is the biggest mistake you've made in the last 6 months?
I've thought about this because obviously I knew you were going to ask.
Right.
And this is a bad time of year to ask me what mistakes I made because I get affected by the weather, basically.
Do you?
February, really bad time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do stupid stuff, say stupid things to people. Not the time of year to ask. But probably the worst mistake I made was actually last year, the back end of last year, I suppose the last 3 or 4 months, just taking on too much of the wrong type of work.
Interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't. I took on a lot of type of tactical stuff. So a lot of community management and content generation.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't set up to do. I think it's important to do some of it because I need to know the ins and outs of what's happening on Facebook. in order to advise.
Sure.
So I think it's important to do some of it, but just the way it worked out, a lot of projects came in at once. Probably with hindsight, I shouldn't have taken them all. Not because it overstretched me, but it just, it's not something I want to be doing long term, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing 3 or 4 of those at once, and it just, after about 3 months, it just got a bit draining. But so I made a conscious decision to change it, and you know, have managed to do that in the space of 2 months. So that's good.
Good for you. See, we learn from our mistakes. Are you doing mostly project work, or do you have some long-term retainer clients?
Projects. It's the way I prefer to work. Even
Really?
if I've got a long-term relationship with a client, with an agency client, for example, I would still prefer to work on a series of projects than be retained. I just think it gives it more accountability both ways, is the way I see it.
But from a cash flow I agree with you. And we had a guest blogger last week, I think, write about this. But that's my biggest issue is from a cash flow perspective. You don't know, you can't predict what's coming in.
No, that's quite right. I can only ever see probably 2 months in advance. But I've learned over the last 14 months or so that that's okay. You know, I'm not running an agency like you where
Right.
I've got staff and, you know, all the stuff to pay for. My costs are pretty minimal, really.
Well, just 3 kids.
Yeah, other than that, obviously. Yeah. Other than that, no, it's. I would love to be able to see further advance in that, but it's just, it suits me better to work on projects, even if it's an ongoing series of projects. I don't know.
Because I mean, I guess we could have, you know, we have a 60-day out clause, termination clause. So I mean, you could, even though you've projected for the full year because you signed an annual contract, you could very well be fired in 60 days.
Yeah, that's quite true.
That's interesting. So what is one of the trends from a communications perspective that you're going to be using this year?
The one I'm looking at heavily is messaging. I think, I mean, it's already started, but I think things are going that way, far more, you know, private. I can't remember the statistic, but at the end of last year there was something about how much less people are, for example, posting to Facebook now.
Right.
It wasn't that people are using it any less; they're just using it a different way. People aren't thinking about every single thing they did. And the theory behind that was very much that those conversations that maybe were happening are now happening privately. So, I mean, I've never been on Snapchat, but I've just created an account because
Did you?
I personally, it just doesn't, you know, some of these things doesn't appeal whatsoever. But yeah, I've decided the next 3 months I've got to really go hard at learning that properly because, you know, you got to, haven't you?
Yeah, you do. And you're right. I mean, what you said earlier about you have to do the work in order to really understand and advise, because if you don't know. You can theorize based on past experience, but it changes so quickly that it's hard to.
Absolutely. I mean, I've read, even going to Snapchat as an example, I saw a great article a couple of weeks ago listing out all the big benefits and everything and what you can do, how brands can use it. But even reading that, unless you're in it, it's just theory. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. So what's one thing that about you that would surprise most people?
I think I come across as quite confident. I know when I write blog posts, I'm quite forthright with my views and opinions. The word arrogant has been
really.
Yeah. But I suppose part of that I see is just being. I had a conversation with someone a couple of weeks ago about what makes a good consultant. And we both agreed that in order to be a good consultant, you've got to be confident in your opinions and, you know, got to offer advice that you believe in.
Yes.
And I think that can be perhaps perceived the wrong way.
Yeah, I can see that.
I will stand behind if I make a recommendation. It doesn't mean I'm not able to change it or anything, but I do stand behind things. But I suppose back to the original point is that I do suffer from a bit of disbelief in myself. So behind that wall, do you know of imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
So it's a bit of imposter syndrome. I do wake up some days or go to a meeting or, have a client and think, I really shouldn't, what qualifies me to do this? I don't think I ever let that show to a client.
Sure. Nor should you.
So it's probably, that might surprise people that behind that that facade, if you like.
Interesting, because I don't see you as I see you as confident, but I don't see you as arrogant jerk at all. And maybe that's because I like you as much as I do. I don't know. But I don't see you that way at all. That's interesting.
I'd rather not be considered a jerk, but
no, I don't see you that way at all.
Yeah, it's not often, but it has. I have been accused of it a couple of times.
I'm with you. I think that if you are going to be a good consultant, you have to.
Yeah, exactly, and I have come to peace with that. If someone thinks that of me, then okay.
And if it's a potential client, then it's probably not a good fit. Because clients should hire you not to agree with them, but to give them the best recommendation.
Absolutely, and that is exactly the way I think of it as well. If a potential client doesn't, for whatever reason, like the way I am, then, like you say, it's probably not a good fit anyway. So, and I can take those decisions because I am in sole control of who I work with.
Right, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So, what are you reading right now?
I'm not reading anything.
One fish, two fish, blue fish, red fish?
Not yet, exactly. Fireman Sam. I don't know if do you have Fireman Sam? No?
Oh, yeah.
I do. So there you go. But I have, in an effort to change this, for Michelle, my wife's, for Valentine's Day, I bought us a book club membership.
Oh!
In fact, it should arrive today, tomorrow, but what they will do is send us a book a month. So we get 2 copies of it, basically. They choose the book based on criteria that we've put forward. So it's a surprise. And we both read the book at the same time. We can talk about it and discuss it. So
I love it. I'll be curious to hear what they send.
Absolutely. I thought it sounded like a really good thing. And well, we'll see. Like I say, it should turn up in the next day or 2, I think.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know. I'll be curious to hear.
So, yeah, we've got 3 months of that to start with. If it goes well, then
you'll add on, yeah.
I think it was a nice idea. Firstly, to get us. I mean, Michelle reads quite a bit.
Does she?
I just haven't read, and at first it'll get me into reading, but it's also something we can kind of do
together. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'll be really curious to hear. You'll have to let me know. Are you binge watching anything?
Nope.
Sesame Street, Bubble Guppies.
Yeah, we don't even have Netflix.
Oh, you know? What is wrong with you people?
I know. It's not, I don't really know why. I mean, we both kind of like similar sorts of stuff, but yeah, I don't, never really got into doing that, I think.
Well, you at least watched Downton Abbey, yes?
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
I wouldn't say we'd ever binge watch stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't watched this season yet, so I'll binge watch it. Probably starting next week, so I can watch it.
I binge on firstly music, and secondly probably podcasts as well.
Yeah.
So if I find a new podcast I like, I'll just binge on that for however long it takes to kind of catch up.
So what are you listening to then, right now?
What, music-wise or
podcast-wise?
I have been. Well, I've just been listening to the new series of Serial. I suppose everyone's
Have you?
catching up on that. There's a couple that I listen to that are actually football based, as in soccer,
Right.
which obviously may not interest you guys.
No, totally. Yeah.
But there was one I found the other day. I'll have to send you a list of them. But yeah, I can't even think at the moment. I've got about 15 on the go at the moment, which I kind of flip between. But
How do you do it though? Because you don't have a commute. So when are you listening?
yeah, I do a couple of days a week. So I go and work in an office twice a day.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. And that's like an hour and a quarter, hour and a half journey. So it's quite a way. And that's when I listen to podcasts.
Got
So
it. That makes sense.
that was a week or something.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Laura is here to
Hi, Paul.
post the 5-second rule. I'm sorry for this in advance. Hi, Laura. I haven't seen you since last week. Hi.
No, I missed you. Hi. Okay, guys, let's see. Ginny, as always, we will start with you. Would you please name 3 types of currency?
Peso, euro, and dollar.
Good job. Nice work. All right, Ginny's off to a good start. Paul, will you please name 3 country singers?
Oh, jeez. So unfair.
I can't even name one.
I think I can name one.
Sorry, that was very bad. Yeah, okay.
That was unfair. I think
That was
that's
unfair. Yeah,
Do
no,
it,
that was
Logan.
unfair. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, it will get better. Don't worry. Okay, Ginny, will you please name 3 things you take camping?
a stove, whiskey, and matches.
Yeah, I like it.
I feel like if you're camping, you have to drink through it because who wants to do that?
Good job.
Thank you.
So all the
I'm getting
camping.
better at this.
No, you are getting a lot better. Practice makes perfect. Good job. Okay, Paul, will you please name 3 animals with spots?
Leopard, cat, and a Dalmatian.
Nice!
Good.
Dalmatian is a good one. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was tricky. That was a good one. All right. Ginny, would you please name 3 reasons to use a Kleenex?
You have to blow your nose, you have something in your eye, and to wipe your bottom.
Good job.
That was a dodgy question.
Paul, will you please name 3 foods you eat with your fingers?
Ooh.
Sandwich, chips, and chocolate bar.
Good.
Oh, chips.
Good. Very, very good.
I would have said sushi.
Yeah.
I like
Ginny,
chips.
would you please name 3 flying objects?
Witches, Superman, and Batman.
Very, very, very good.
I just saw the preview for Superman versus Batman. I don't know. Like, I feel like they should be together.
I
not
know.
versus. I don't know about this.
I agree. I definitely agree. Okay, Paul, would you please name 3 words that start with the letter Q?
Queen, quarrel, and question.
Good. Very good. That was hard.
Question.
All right, Ginny, would you please name 3 things you turn on?
Why do you do this to me? Lights, people, stoves.
Good. Last one for Paul. Will you please name 3 things you keep in a safe?
Money, a watch, and
Jewelry. Oh,
what was?
jewelry, art.
Yeah.
You guys are good. We
Somebody's
did
head.
that one.
Finger.
Wait, did you just say someone's head?
No, I live in Chicago. You have to.
So on that note,
Well,
mhm. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to talk yourself out of that.
all right.
Because
On that note, are we finished?
yeah, other than Ginny's homicidal tendencies here, that was very good. You all were superstars with that one.
So, Paul, I would like for when this runs for you to send me the list of podcasts so we can include it, and the article about Snapchat, if you can remember what it was, and also tell people where they can find you.
You can find me mostly either on my website, on the blog, which is at paulsutton.co, or on Twitter, which is at the Paul Sutton.
The Paul Sutton. Woohoo! And I'll include links.
Paul Sutton, capitalized.
Paul Sutton. It's like the Ohio State.
Yep.
Thank you, Sarah. It's so good to see you and hear you, of course.